Kennedy reached for the sweep, but that reach isolated her own arm. Helena used it to build the Kimura trap, followed the turtle, and finished with the black hole triangle. Let's break this down. Watch how Kennedy's sweep attempt gives Helena the arm isolation that starts the entire finish. Helena forced her way into top half guard, and her right leg is a trap leg. Kennedy immediately brings her right arm under Helena's left leg, looking to sweep. By reaching under this leg, Kennedy isolates her own right arm. Helena is now positioned over Kennedy's shoulder, and her arm is already trapped underneath the leg. Anytime the bottom player reaches under the leg from half guard, that arm can become vulnerable if the top player gets their weight over the shoulder. Helena is not just stopping the sweep here, she's recognizing that Kennedy's arm is now separated from her body. At the same time, Kennedy uses her left hand to frame on the neck. Helena has a tight crossface with her left arm, and she is driving her left shoulder pressure in to make Kennedy uncomfortable. Now Helena brings her right arm around Kennedy's left arm to hunt for the underhook. The important detail is that Helena brings the pit of her elbow under Kennedy's elbow and lifts up. She's flaring Kennedy's elbow away from her body before she punches the underhook through. This is a pressure and frame relationship. The crossface makes Kennedy uncomfortable, and the elbow flare makes the frame weaker. If Helena only swims for the underhook without first weakening the frame, Kennedy has a much better chance to keep the elbow tight and block the entry. The further the elbow gets from the body, the weaker the frame becomes. The closer the elbow stays to the body, the stronger the frame is. So Helena weakens the frame first, then takes the underhook. This is the detail that makes the frame fail. Before the underhook even gets punched through, Helena flares the elbow away, then punches the underhook. She grips her right hand on Kennedy's left shoulder, hugs tight with her head, and posts her forehead on the mat. Now Helena lifts her right knee and plants her right foot on the mat. That causes Kennedy to react to the leg. She briefly pushes on Helena's right thigh, then grabs the inside of her own left thigh. And this is the opening Helena uses next, because Kennedy's attention is now on the legs. Because Kennedy is focused on the legs, Helena brings her left arm over to the other side of Kennedy's head. She slides that left arm underneath Kennedy's already isolated arm, while her head is still posted on the mat. Now Kennedy reaches both arms around Helena's right thigh and establishes the S grip. Helena lifts her head off the mat, leans slightly to the left, and threads her left arm deeper. As she leans forward, she places the left side of her head on the mat and pulls her right knee up into a fetal position. Kennedy traps Helena's right foot in a figure 4 with her legs and adjusts the S grip from high on the thigh to mid thigh. Helena keeps Kennedy's isolated left arm tight with her overhooking left arm. Then Helena pulls her right arm out from the underhook and establishes wrist control on Kennedy's left wrist. Now she grabs her own right wrist with her left hand and establishes the Kimura grip. The Kimura grip is not the finish yet. It is the control that keeps Helena attached throughout the scramble. This is the biggest teaching point of the sequence. The Kimura is not only a submission grip, it is also an attachment system. Even if Kennedy defends the finish, Helena can use the grip to follow the roll, stay connected, and keep Kennedy's shoulder line controlled. This grip matters because Helena can bring her elbows closer to her own body and use her back strength instead of just pulling with her arms. She tries to break Kennedy's S grip a couple times, but Kennedy keeps the grip. Kennedy lets go of the S grip and places her hand on Helena's butt. She rotates slightly to her left and pushes on Helena's butt, trying to create space, but Helena does not move. Kennedy goes back to her back, reaches around with her right hand, and grabs Helena's right wrist. Kennedy rotates left again, but she cannot get out, so she rolls back to her back. Helena follows and ends up on her left hip with her head now off the mat. Helena's right foot is still in between Kennedy's legs, and Helena brings her left foot to Kennedy's left hip while keeping the Kimura grip tight. This is where the Kimura trap turns into back exposure. Kennedy lets go of Helena's right wrist, and Helena tightens the Kimura grip. She leans to her left side and threads the toes of her left foot just inside Kennedy's left thigh. Helena sits back up and Kennedy establishes the S grip again. Then Kennedy uses that momentum to roll to her right side and get into turtle. But Helena still has the Kimura grip, and because both of her feet are inside Kennedy's thighs, Helena follows the roll and stays attached to the top of Kennedy's back. The reason Helena can follow the roll is not just the Kimura. Her feet are inside Kennedy's thighs, so when Kennedy turns, Helena has hooks of connection. The upper body control and lower body connection work together. Kennedy's drive forward creates the space Helena needs to lock the black hole triangle. Kennedy maintains the S grip and drives forward with her legs. That causes Kennedy's head head to push Helena's hips higher, while Helena's head is posted on the mat. And when Kennedy drives forward, space opens underneath. That space allows Helena to lock the back triangle, also called the black hole triangle. Now Kennedy is on her knees with Helena's weight hanging on her head and upper shoulder area. She's stuck in the triangle and still trying to hold the S grip. The finish happens when Helena moves her head underneath and turns the angle, not when she just squeezes harder. If Helena stays square and only squeezes, Kennedy has more room to survive. The choke gets stronger when Helena clears her head underneath, turns the angle, and brings her hip closer to the mat.
Here's the whole sequence together. Helena enters top half guard with her right leg trapped. Kennedy reaches under the left leg for the sweep and frames on the neck. Helena cross faces, flares the elbow to weaken the frame, punches the underhook, and posts on her head. She lifts the knee. Kennedy reacts to the leg, and Helena uses that reaction to clear the head and thread her left arm underneath. Kennedy locks the S grip around the thigh, so Helena switches to the Kimura grip and keeps her elbows tight. When Kennedy tries to create space, Helena stays connected. When Kennedy rolls the turtle, Helena follows because the Kimura grip and both feet inside the thighs keep her attached. Kennedy drives forward, the space opens underneath, and Helena locks the black hole triangle. From there, Helena moves her head underneath, turns the angle to the right, brings her left hip closer to the mat, and finishes.
That is what makes this finish so dangerous. Helena never disconnects. The sweep attempt creates the arm isolation, the Kimura grip keeps her attached, and the turtle reaction gives her the black hole triangle.
Defending the first attack is not enough. The control keeps carrying into the next position.
If you want more breakdowns like this, watch the next one and keep studying the details.